Hello friends and welcome to our next class, and in this class we'll be dealing with some example programs on internal table. So the first program is program to maintain students data in an internal table by adding records one by one using append command. The first step would be we'll be declaring the structure of the data. That is types begin of type stu. Let's take few fields: roll number, type numeric, length 5. So now we are using a chain operator. If you can see, class type character length 10, name type character length 40, we'll also take field type integer. That's it. So that will be the end of ty student stu. So we have created and closed our structure. So in our structure we are having 4 fields: roll number, class, name and fees. Full stop. Then we'll be declaring the type of table, but this would be tt underscore stu. Type table of ty underscore stu. Now we'll be declaring the structure of it. So for data is underscore stu, type ty underscore stu. So we have declared the structure, and now we will be declaring the table also. Now we'll be declaring internal table variable data it underscore stu, type tt underscore stu. So this is how we do the internal table declaration. So this is the structure, and these are the components, the fields of this structure, and this is the table type, custom data type that we are defining, which is of table type tystu, and this is the structure variable wherein it will be holding only one record, and this will be holding n number of records. So it's a table which is of type ttstu. Now we'll start appending the records into this table. It's appending records. So it underscore stu dash rno. So we are filling the roll number of internal table 121. Let's see what happens when we check the code for this. Okay, it is telling that internal table itstu is a table without a header line, and therefore has no component called rno. So basically, since we are trying to directly assign a value to a table, we are coming across this error. So to avoid this or to overcome this, so the right way would be we would just give the structure with its proper value. Now let's check this then. Now it's correct. So similarly, is underscore stu class equal to pg. That's it. So we have completely filled our structure. Now we'll be using append keyword. Append is basically to add from our table structure to our internal table. And once it's appended, we want to just clear this structure variable. Now let's check this. Okay, so we are good. And we can also debug this program. So let's activate it first and set a breakpoint over here. And I will show you how do we debug an internal table. Okay, so we are in the ABAP debugger. Let's click on desktop 3. And right now, let's check it out. What are the values stored in roll number, class, name, gender, and fee. So right now, these all are empty. So I'm pressing F5. So roll number is populated with 1-to-1 value. And if I click on this structure table and give the structure name, STU, enter. And when I'm pressing F5, just look at the value. See, class PG is getting populated, name is getting populated, and finally the gender. So this is how you can look at how the values in a structure is getting populated. And if I go to the tables tab and I give over there the table name IT_STU, enter. And right now we have not executed the append statement and the table is completely empty. So the execution pointer is over here at 27th line and 29th hasn't been executed. So if I go to tables, and you can see all of our fields are already present over here. So when I press an F5 key, that append statement will execute the data from structure to tables. So let's press F5. Yeah, so over here you can see row 1, this is a by default given by SAP system to count the rows. And if you see the site ABIX, it is set to be 1 right now. So let's go ahead and add few more values in it so that we can perform certain actions on this data. Let's get back, press F8 and remove the breakpoint. Now what I'll be doing is I will be just copying the whole these 6 to 7 lines multiple times. Yeah, and I will just give some random values. Two, 1, 2, 3, grad, Mona, female with some random fee. So just give me 1 minute. I'll be back with everything populated and then we can continue with our class.
Yeah, hey there, so I'm back and I've appended 10 records in our internal table IT_STU. So the nature of the data is we are having a table with some fees, name of the different students, gender, male or female, and its class, whether he's a PG or in graduation or doing a PhD. Roll number holds only 3 digits. So 2 zeros are followed by the 3 digits. So this is the basic nature of data. I will show you the code also. So let's click on desktop 3 and this is nothing but a simple just done copy and pasting of every block of append statement with different values, and that's it. Let's press F8. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'll be just copying this whole code and I will create an include program. Now what is an include program will do? Include program will just, instead of again and again writing the same line of code, what I can do is I can create an include program and in our new program I can include that code. So let's go include students data. Let's write STU data. Let me create this as an include. Record. confidential. And now the type would be include. Just save it. Save it in a local object. I will just directly paste it. Okay. And since this is an include program, if you can see on the left hand side, it's an include program. A report is not required over here in this case. So I will just check it, activate it. So everything is fine. And if I try to execute, just see what happens. Operation terminated. Since this is an include program, it cannot execute by its own. So whenever this include program will be called in my main program, it is as if these all many lines of codes are already attached to that program of mine. Instead of again and again writing this lengthy code of worth 103 lines, I can call this program as an include. So let's create another program in which I will be calling this program. I will just copy this. Save it if I have not yet saved. /n se38, and I'm going to be creating another test. Go ct. Let's create this internal table examples, and this is an executable program. Let it be of test program type. Let's save it and save it in a local directory. And I will include this. Now doing this, what happens is an ABAP editor assumes that the program that we have written in this is attached to this main program. So instead of again writing the same amount of code, we can utilize our time in doing some other activity. It also appears very nice and well formatted when we use such kind of formatting techniques in real time, because it really helps us in understanding the code. Like, we can give all the declarations on all the data that we want in our include program, and that include will be called in our main program. So let's assume one scenario. So we'll write a program to find whether the roll number 777 is in class graduation or is in graduation or not. So we'll use a read command over here. We'll be reading the table, internal table it_stu into our structure is_stu with key. So we want RNO. We know that RNO is our roll number 777, and its class to be PG. Now if this is true, then SAP will be set to 0, else it will not get executed. So if this condition is true, if the read statement is true, then I want to know what is the name of that student is. is_stu is name, is_stu its gender, and is_stu the fees that guy has paid. That's it. Okay, and if SAP is 4, which is false, then we'll write that student not found. Give it color 7, and if that's it, just check it. Okay, we've got a STU. Let's check now. Yeah, it's fine. Activate it. And let's execute it. So student not found. Okay, so we got an output that student not found. Purposely I gave the class as PG. But what if I give the class as grad? And let's activate it and then execute it. Yeah, so we can see Ali is the name of that guy. He's a male and the fees he has paid is 8,900. Now let's debug this code and understand how it's getting executed in the backend. So I have to double click on internal table as student. So now you can see, even though we have not done any declaration of this, but since we have used an include program, it is holding 10 records. Let's double click on internal table. So these are all the records that we have stored in our include program, which can easily be accessed here. Let's click on desktop 3. And what is IS? So right now it's blank. So I'm pressing an F5. So let's see what's in our internal structure. So it has got the value. So the roll number 777 is found, which is in class grad. So it will go ahead and write the values. So in case of read statement, the first line that gets executed is an internal table is kept in the RAM and then this key is executed. So from those 10 records, first, without looking any further, the ABAP editor filters out the data and only keeps those records which is in the key, or as you can also call it as a where clause. But in this case it's a key, and then the further processing happens. So let's take another simple program to understand and perform few more operations on it. Back, press F8. So friends, this is going to be the last program of this class, and the program is to verify the fees values of first and the last record, whether are they same or not. So right now in this case we know that we have got 10 records, but what will happen if we don't know the number of records that we have in our table? In that case, what we'll do? So in this scenario we'll be learning about keyword lines, which counts the number of records present in an internal table. Okay, so we'll be comparing the two fees of first record and the last record. So I need a two scalar variable which will hold the fees value of first record and the last record. So let it be data fee 1 like is underscore stu of fees. Another one, data fee 2 like fee 1. I'm sure you are not having any doubt in this, because we have gone through quite a number of examples of how to declare data and type and custom types and use likes and line off and all those things. They would also need account variable which will hold the number of records in an internal table. So this is how we get the number of records from an internal table. So count is, we know it's an integer, so we are assigning count by using function lines it underscore stu close bracket the number of records present in internal table stu will be stored in count variable. And the same statement can also be performed using a describe, which we will be using in incoming classes. So now read table it underscore stu into is underscore stu. Now for first record there is no problem. We know that its index value would be 1. And once we get that value in our internal structure, then I want it to keep in my fee1 scalar variable is underscore stu fees. Okay, and similarly to get the last value of our structure, the index would be count, because the count will hold last record number. And P2 equal to STU fees. Now our question is whether fee 1 and fee 2 are same or not. So for that we will write an if statement. P1 if F1 fee 1 equal to fee 2, then write fees are same. Else write fees are not same. Let's check it and see if we have any problem. Yeah, so it's telling F1 is unknown. I mean fee 1. Let's check it again. Okay, again so these are the very simple and problems that we do. I forgot to write an end if in this statement. So let's check it again. So you are getting a very real-time experience. Same mistake you will be doing because this is a process of learning ABAP. And in fact, even after learning, people do those small mistakes. So it's no syntax error found. Let me just activate it and execute this program and see. So fees are not same. Okay, this is the problem. Let's debug this code. Now see what value is stored in count. Click on desktop 3. Count. Press F5. So see. So we got count as 10. In our case, of course, we were aware about the number of records that are present in our internal table. But what if we are not aware about the number of records? So this is very helpful to find the number of records. And let's check what is in structure variable when the index is 1. Press F5. So that is executed. Let's click on this. Okay, on the first one we got Alex P5000. Just go back. And see what is there in fee 1. I am pressing F5. So 5000 is getting populated over here. Let's see what is present in the 10th record. Press F5 and structure. It is having 8900. Mr. Ali is the guy on last record and he's having fee as 8900. Now let me press F5 again and see what is the value stored in fee 2. Yeah, so over here 5000 and 8900 is compared and we know these are not similar values. So the if 25th line doesn't get executed and directly 27th line, which is in else block statement, gets executed. Press F5, see. So this is how we perform basic calculations on internal table. We will be solving many more examples on this unless we get a very good grip in performing internal table operations, because this is one of the most important topics BW consultant come across. As in our day-to-day life, you will be writing loops on an internal table, reading an internal table and shifting the data. So according to me, this holds 60% of the BW related ABAP value, because when we will be creating programs on extract structure, we will be just populating the table and reading the table, and this is what we really need to know. So that's all in this class. Thank you.